Okay, now just bear with me again here. It's only my second video made, so when I start to get off track, I kind of have to just stop what I'm doing because there's paint everywhere. And so now I'm going to try and grab a little bit more black and make up another green from yellow, ochre, and black. I'm going to try and get one that's not quite as dark and dirty as the last one. Okay. And I grabbed a bigger brush now as well. It's a little bit better for mixing. If you're going to do color mixing with a brush, use one that's bigger and thicker so you won't have the danger of getting it up into your metal parts. If you don't already know, then for oil paint, a bristle brush is what you want to start off using. You can use some of the synthetics, and you can use the synthetics for acrylics, and you can use them for oils, but you only use bristle for oil, and I recommend just using bristle when you start off because it's just strong and it pushes the paint around in a good way. And if you're using the synthetic ones, I'll bet you're probably using small ones, and you're probably just being too careful with your brush strokes, and you're trying to paint specific instead of paint general. And you need to start learning how to just lash the paint around and lay in the values once you get them mixed. You don't want to have to sit there and be like precise surgical with it. And then even if you get the shape, you find out it's the wrong color. You got to get the colors right first, okay? So this is like a nice drab olive green, okay? You might not think it's anything to write home about, but you know, we're not making pop art, we're making natural vegetation, greens, okay? So that's what we're aiming for here. And you might be thinking, well, that looks like the color of something that's like dead grass. Well, if you're doing something from winter time, you're going to have a lot of these brownish greens out in your fields. You're not going to have all bright green grass, you know. So this is kind of another experiment for where you can look and you can see how colors relate to each other. That first one, when I made it up, it was like, wow, I made a really bright green from yellow and black, and you wouldn't think you could make a green that bright, I said, and you were looking at it and you're like, it just looks like a regular green, but look when you put it next to all these other greens, you see how actually outrageously bright it is. When you are going in to do a painting, you're going to have a lot more of these greens in this one, you know. So we'll see. Now that is a very olivey green, so the yellow ochre is always going to push it towards a more yellow green, which can go more sandy when it's mixed with black. It's, you know, I say dull, but I hate saying that because it sounds like it's a bad thing, but it's, you know, it's just that it's a little bit more of a green that you're going to find in nature than, you know, you might think that you will. You will actually find that green in nature quite a bit. And this one here, I'll try now add a little bit more of the yellow ochre. Trying to do speed mixing here. And then I'm going to put this in up here. Didn't do a very good job of staying in the lines, but what you can see there now is that I was able to get a really nice range of greens without using any blues, using only blacks. And by staying away from the cadmium yellow, I made sure that when I went lighter, I didn't get something that was like that, okay? The cadmium yellow and black mixtures came out really nice here and came out really nice there. So it made some really nice medium ones. Now this is even more yellow ochre added in, making an even lighter one. Okay, and so when you make your swatches like this, again, you should have all your rows labeled. So like this was, or columns, this is column H, and then I have the rows marked A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down the other way, so this is like H1. And then what I'm going to do when I am finished, or as you're going along before you forget them, is write them all here into your book. You're going to write down what mixtures went into what squares. So then when I'm looking at my subject matter and I have a landscape in front of me and I am looking at all these different greens, I can say, you know, I want to make this green, and I find the recipe here in my notebook. Okay.